trembling hands. I didn't feel victorious, only free. For years, I'd been living in her shadow, suffocated by her judgment. Now, the truth had turned the tables. The same courtroom where she mocked me became the stage of her downfall. And though part of me still wished things could have been different, that she could have been my sister, not my rival, I knew this was the only way it could end. The courtroom was packed that morning, cameras flashing as my sister, Judge Melissa Hart, entered with her usual poise and confidence. She didn't glance my way as she took her seat at the bench, but I could feel her satisfaction radiating from across the room. She had always been the golden child, the one everyone admired, while I was the disappointment, the brother who never lived up to expectations. And now, as fate would have it, I stood accused in her courtroom, charged with financial misconduct in the company I built from the ground up. To her, this wasn't just a case, it was an opportunity to prove, once and for all, that she was better. She began the session with a faint smirk tugging at her lips. The prosecutors were her allies, men she'd worked with for years, and they seemed just as eager to see me fall. As they laid out their evidence, Melissa's tone dripped with mock authority, every word a subtle jab meant to remind me of my supposed inferiority. It was as if we were back in childhood again, and she was scolding me for breaking something that never mattered. I sat there, quiet, letting her believe she had control. But inside, I was calm, almost too calm, because I knew something she didn't. For weeks, I'd watched the pieces come together, the false witnesses, the forged documents, the convenient, anonymous tip, that had landed this case in her court. She thought she had orchestrated everything perfectly. What she didn't realize was that I had uncovered the web she and her allies had spun, and today, the truth would surface. When it was my turn to speak, Melissa interrupted before I could begin. "This isn't your stage, David," she said sharply, her voice echoing in the hall. "Stick to facts, not emotions." Her tone drew a few laughs from the audience. Reporters scribbled eagerly. My heart pounded, not with fear, but with the anticipation of what was about to happen. I leaned forward and began recounting the events that led up to the accusation. I explained how my business partner, a man named Raymond, had manipulated company funds and pinned the blame on me. Melissa listened with feigned disinterest, pretending to read through her notes. But I could see the flicker in her eyes when I mentioned Raymond's name. She tried to mask it, but I caught it, a flash of recognition, one she couldn't quite hide. Then came the key moment. The prosecutor presented a file containing proof of my misconduct, bank statements, transfers, and signatures. I watched as Melissa